Hello and welcome to yet another Friday cast. My name is SoScared, and I went to gamereplays.org and I managed to catch one of the experienced players a replay here between SirCakealot and Han. Now the title for that game replay kind of indicates how this game might look like, but I was still very excited to see the replay in full, and I decided to just take this game for a cast just to see what exactly is going to go. But we are going to see both of these players going Russia, so we have a Russian dual matchup, or a Russian mirror matchup rather. So these players obviously know this map very well. SirCakealot, very experienced players for sure, and Han as well. I've seen Han in the recruit division of the RAGL Global League, and he promoted himself towards the minions division, and definitely showing some consistent good play. So I would expect some good performance by these two. Here's SirCakealot moving up a couple of infantry. I guess to get some scouting going on to see what Han is up to, but not much else other than the regular opener, I would say, is happening. It's getting a good scout. Early scouts such as these are of, unless you want to make sure that your opponent is not kind of doing any like funny rushes, then it's a little bit questionable sending in 5 infantry to die within the first 2 minutes of the game. But regardless, he knows that Han is playing a regular game, so he can adjust his game thusly. SirCakealot is opening with a double ore refinery, which you can do if you want to do as he's doing now. We have seen this sometimes in the latest month, where players are investing in rocket soldiers and infantry relatively early. That will definitely demand a second ore refinery up before the war factory for your side, if you want to do something like that, and hopefully, of course, for the attacker to do some initial damage. Probably he is going to look to go all the way around, perhaps to the side here, to hopefully catch one of these ore trucks going out here on by themselves without any protection whatsoever. Han is playing I think this is a greedy build. I think he'll open up with the war factory unless he sold the second war refinery. I didn't really catch that. But regardless, the economy is relatively similar. And here you see something that was advertised on the game replay site, which is called Early Yak Opener. You can see here SirCakealot is opening with the Yak. This is also something I saw him do against player Germany, in which he opened up with the early Yaks in, I guess, hopes to take down maybe Black Power, maybe snipe some early refineries, stuff like that, which was a very interesting strategy. But if you are playing against some solid, you could risk just being set behind simply because of you don't have the army. Yaks cannot really defend on. Here you go. As you can see, the initial infantry push is going to be able to take down one ore truck at least. That's a really nice stuff. Going to take down the ore fighter as well. Tesla coil is coming out, but that's going to probably start, unless it force fires the rocket soldier, then the Tesla coil shouldn't be able to do too much damage. And the Axe actually is focusing down infantry at this point. I guess, well, I remember SirCakealot building 2 airfields in that game versus Germany. This time, let's see, what is this second thing? It's a 3rd ore refinery, so he's going to support his Yak play for a little bit further. So I'm kind of hoping to see how this pans, how this does against a more regular opener by Han, which is a service depot, either for some early medium tanks and eventually an expansion, which I hope he will do. I mean, what you want to do against this is just simply medium tank and infantry, which should be able to stop this. I mean, the SirCakealot will not get an army up anytime soon involving head tanks. So if Han were to start with a medium tank army right away, he could definitely take the battlefield easily. But he decides to go for the MCV first, and this might be scouted, might be taken out if this MCV goes a little bit too far away from these infantries. The Yak has been spotted, and this MCV should be deployed as soon as possible. Just to make sure, like, doesn't matter where he places it now, he should just place it anywhere. There you go. Does lose half of the HP because of this, and because you don't have the freaking defense structure ready, he might just lose it. Luckily for him, there's no second Yak, I was supposed to say, but there is a second Yak. It's gonna pick off that MCV, no problem. Very sad day for a early MCV expansion. But you know, this is also, you know, why you see a lot of players like to build up an army first. Also, just by having a maybe a pillbox ready for that expansion, or of course in this situation it would be a flame tower. Could just leave this expansion up relatively safely and bring in some of the infantry. There comes the heavy tanks, which has been delayed so much by that starting MCV, so that SirCakealot will possibly be able to still conquer the middle part of the game. Alright, here comes his spy planes, probably to just scout what's going to come his way. Was it? Oh, I actually chose the wrong path, the wrong vision. Anyway, so here comes a small push with a couple of heavy tanks, but not that many infantry. This V2 should be able to just melt these infantries, and it has a tank with some follow-up rocket soldiers should be able to stop these heavy tanks easily. So this attack came in a little bit too late, and they will be stopped quite easily there. And of course, SirCakealot is finally looking to expand by going for the service depot after this. So V2s, infantry, Yaks, of course, picking up that MCV early on is, you know, it's a big enabler for this kind of playstyle. You know, you're going to have the map control if you use your Yaks actively with this kind of style, but still, you know, it's going to be very difficult to punish a player for going for a service depot, because it's pretty much the safest opener you can do. Here comes a third MCV, or a second expansion MCV out. It's going to be spotted immediately, and I suspect it's going to be taken out immediately, especially since it doesn't turn around. There's the placement, and no, it says Coil is not going to do it, and bye-bye MCV. Yep, that was a pretty rough display for Han. I mean, you know, I like the service depot opener, but it certainly requires for you to have the most dominant map control, I should say. Okay, Han is actually floating at this point, so it looks like his production has not been up to par as well. That certainly is not a good thing. SirCakealot at this point can basically go and just safely expand and just slowly build up an army over Han. He knows about Han's double MCV loss, so all SirCakealot needs to do is just keep producing an army, just make sure that they can't be really outflanked any other way. Yeah. So it looks like this is how the game is going to end. Han currently floating really heavily. Is not going to have the resources needed for us to stop this attack even. I mean, if this V2 shot gets a nice shot into this infantry blob, this attack should be the game ender. Here we go. Well, not too bad. It's actually doing a lot of damage to them, and this attack has been proved successful. Han is now producing some flamethrowers together with some APCs, but it's only going to possibly push SirCakealot out of this position, and not much more than that. I guess this APC could be used for a flamethrower rush or a drop. This is not really a rush at this point, but Yeah, SirCakealot looks very safe with his Tesla coils. So it's not going to really matter. He has a SirCakealot save tank actually. Yeah. Oh, and Han is actually out of power as well. Yep. What more can I say about this game though? Yeah, it's played on the map Dual Cold Front, of course, which is one of the most popular 1 versus 1 player maps currently. So it's going to be featured on Doomhammer's tournament, which is going to be on Friday. Definitely check out that, as 5SS and myself is going to co-host the event. Looking forward to 14 players, I think it was 14 players. It's going to duke out in a spectacular tournament format, hosted by none other than Hector Doomhammer. So definitely check that out. As for this game, this drop should be one of the best drops we've seen in the game in OpenRA history. Could go all the way behind, but you know he's in danger of being exposed wherever he goes, since there's yak everywhere. It's very easy for SirCakealot to spot whatever Han is doing at this point. But SirCakealot is actually just pushing in, very smart, going in with infantry first to take the initial brunt of that Tesla coil fire. He's going to be able to take down the barracks, so no proxy infantry, I guess, towards him. And just slowly pushing it with the heavy tanks first. Could be able to take down the aero burner. Not the third one. Dang. What? Third one. There's the third one. The third MCV is going down for Han. Yeah. Yep. It's very difficult. That's why I never really like to see the MCV first. I know a lot of good players like to do that, but you know it's not only safer to start out with a couple of tanks to get some map control, but you know you can also use those early units to kind of sneak around the map and try to pose a threat towards the other player, possibly denying the opponent's the expansion while you are expanding safely as well. Might give you a couple of options. Here's the fourth expansion attempt by Han. Let's actually see if we can get away with this this time though. This time is actually expanding towards I was going to say empty space. There's no units from SirCakealot anymore, but there is an yak. It's going to discover this pretty well. Actually, 2 yaks. Can they actually see these going down? No, they're actually going to go all the way around and scout some more. So Han will finally get his expansion up with his original MCV SirCakealot. At the same time, he is also floating, so it's not really producing to the best of the potential, but you can see his Soviet tech center there is going to be able to produce his shock troopers and Tesla tanks if he so wishes. Now, ooh, that's actually Han's attack plane. It's kind of difficult to see the difference. Okay, not the best crash. I guess it did its damage and value, but it's supposed to do a little bit more than that at this point. Here comes the final push by SirCakealot. I don't think there's anything else here for Han to push back from. He's losing all his powers, not able to take down the put his Tesla back in line. Serviceable goes down, War Factory, and that's about it for Mr. Han. It was super unlucky losing 3 MCVs, cold CGG, so this game is definitely over, if it wasn't for some time. Yes. Looking at this map, SirCakealot didn't have to do much other than expanding to the threat position and getting the pressure up with the axe early on. GG. So yeah, that was a short one, and but still, you know, this is how it's going to go. Some games are short, some games are long. So with that said, I hope to see you in the tournament of Hector Doomhammer this next coming Friday. Excuse me, Saturday, of course, and the next 2 weekends as well, Saturday and Sunday. So with that said, my name is SoScared, and thank you for watching.